Up on our broadcast for tonight, salt. A big epidemic in America. Are you eating too much?
Plan B. Can you really get it from a vending machine?
And a Chicago taxi cab driver is now in U.S. custody after being found he's associated with Al-Qaeda.
2012 elections are in full swing, so make sure to get out there and vote.
Following that, we have sports, the Bryant update, world news, and weather.
And it all starts right now.
Straight from the Bulldog Studios at Bryant University, this is the Bryant News Broadcast. Featuring Todd Stewart, Sarah Larrabee, Nolan Thompson with the weather, Chad Sabo with sports, and Dana Arenik with the Bryant update. This episode is brought to you by the Media Production Club.
Despite public health messages telling Americans that we eat too much salt, most of us still consume more than the daily amount, according to the new report from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. 9 out of 10 people ages 2 and above in the U.S. consume more than the daily value. The leading culprit in the war on salt are not snacks like potato chips and popcorn, but slices of bread and dinner rolls. These rolls may not have as much salt in a single serving, but when eaten several times a day, it can quickly add up. The daily recommendation of salt intake is 3,000 milligrams a day, and the best way to cut back on your salt intake is to prepare your own food. When someone else makes the food for you, they tend to put more salt in.
One university is taking the meaning of the walk of shame to a whole new level. Students at Shippensburg University, located in a rural and mountainous area of Pennsylvania, can now get the morning after pill from a vending machine for just $25. Also known as Plan B, the pill is available to anyone over the age of 17, and it does not require a prescription. Taking Plan B within 72 hours of rape, condom failure, or just forgetting regular contraception can cut the chances of pregnancy up to 89%. Some religious conservatives consider the emergency contraceptive a type of abortion drug. This story is attracting national and federal attention, and maybe vending machines with Plan B will become more popular around the country.
So that's quite a change in society, having Plan B in vending machines like that.
There's two sides of the story. Do we have unwanted pregnancies, or do we make it more available as another option for couples? And
that's a very good question. I'm sure a lot of people in the U.S. are going to be thinking about this as we continue going on.
And we'll bring you more as the debate unfolds. But right now, we're going to throw it over to Nolan with the weather.
Well, thanks, Sarah. As you can see right now from the radar, we are in the clear, and we should be staying in the clear all the way until the weekend, where we have a slight chance of snow showers on Saturday. Only about a 30% chance, but it's still a chance for some snow. Temperatures should be hanging around the low 30s to upper 40s for the entire week. And other than that, it's just looking like sunshine. Now over to Chad and Brian with sports.
Thanks, Nolan. Last night, Boston Celtics captain Paul Pierce passed Larry Bird to move into second place on the franchise's list of all-time leading scorers during Tuesday night's 94-84 win over the Charlotte Bobcats at TD Garden. Pierce buried a three-pointer from the right wing with 10:23 to go in the third quarter to move past Bird, who scored 21,791 points during his career, all spent entirely with the Celtics, just like Paul Pierce has. Pierce finished with 15 points in the game, bringing his career total to 21,797 on 6 of 18 shooting for the night. He flirted with a triple-double by adding 9 assists and 8 rebounds. Throughout the game, the crowd chanted Pierce's name and gave him numerous standing ovations. Pierce quoted, we have great fans. They've seen it all from my younger days, from my trials and tribulations. To this point today, it's a great honor just for them to be able to stand up and give me that type of ovation. Being a Celtic for all these years and understanding what it means to be a Celtic and the ups and downs you go through just to come to this point in your career, it really means so much to the support that they have given me over the years." End quote. Congratulations to Paul Pierce on the milestone and the Celtics for the win. And now we welcome back the great Brian Walsh, who was gone last semester studying abroad at Australia. Brian?
Thank you for that one, Chad. Now that the Super Bowl is over, every team can look forward to the offseason. The NFL offseason is an offseason like no other. The Pittsburgh Steelers started off by making a big splash and hiring Kansas City head coach Todd Haley as their offensive coordinator. After getting embarrassed by the Broncos in the first round of the playoffs, they want to see the bright lights of the Superdome next year. Well, then Haley is going to have to actually coach Big Ben, and he's going to have to buy into the system. The Steelers get a coordinator who helped turn a 5-11 franchise into a Super Bowl contender. Haley, after 3 years, gets a top 10 quarterback to help make his offensive schemes more effective. Overall, this was a great hire for both sides. In Indianapolis, the Super Bowl's main talk was about two things. One, the rivalry of the Giants and the Patriots, and two, Peyton Manning. The debate roars on about where he will end up once the 2012 season starts. Rumors have spread about retirement, but according to the experts, all signs point to Washington. There are many factors when looking at his current play situation. Chad, now do you agree with what the experts think in the fact that he's going to go to Washington, or do you think he's going to end up somewhere else?
Right now, I'm not sure if Washington's the right choice for him. I think it'd be awesome if he went to Washington, then he gets to face his brother at least twice during the regular season, maybe in the playoffs. So that'd be interesting. Other teams that are up for grabs, you got the Dolphins, which I'm a fan of. That'd be kind of cool if he'd face at least Tom Brady twice in the regular season. I know the Cardinals, they recently hired Peyton Manning's quarterback coach, who he worked with over the Colts for their wide receivers coach, so maybe he could end up there. He can end up in a lot of different places. Maybe he will retire. I don't know how bad the injury is. I don't think he'll retire, though. I think he has a couple years left in him. I don't know what you think about this. So.
See, I kind of think he's going to retire. Look, last time he went out, he was 10-6. He lost in the first round to the Jets. But overall with Peyton, if he doesn't retire, I feel like he's going to be on the downslope this year. I don't think he's going to help bring a team back to the Super Bowl. So going off and retiring would be one of the best things to do, like a Mike Mussina kind of thing. Now, that was sports, and over to Dana with the Bryant News Update.
The Archway, our campus newspaper, has created quite the controversy this week. A front-page article that ranked Bryant's best and worst professors according to the infamous RateMyProfessor.com has angered many faculty and members and has started a Twitter war on Twitter. Make sure to check out this week's paper to read the faculty and student reactions to the article. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you more next week. Now back to you, Todd.
Thanks, Dana. A Pakistani-born Chicago taxi driver pleaded guilty Monday after having alleged ties to al-Qaeda. FBI officials said they could hear taxi driver through wiretap discussing a plan to bomb a stadium. Rahal Asharib Khan was charged with 2 counts of attempting to provide material support to terrorists. Although this may come as somewhat shock to most, Khan was previously arrested for sending money to al-Qaeda. In 2010, he was accused of taking steps to send cash to a Pakistani-based terrorist in order to buy explosives. These were believed to be orders from bin Laden himself. Khan is now charged with 5 years.
It has been almost 4 years since America has elected a new president, which means the race is on to see who will compete against current President Barack Obama for the next presidential seat. 2012 has already become a major political election year, and right now, former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney and former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich are battling for the Republican presidential nomination. Every vote counts, and there are many months of campaigning left. For information on all the candidates and all previous poll results, please visit 2012.presidentialcandidates.org. And just like last semester, we welcome back Doug Sieber with the World News section for tonight.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Well, it's great to finally be back. I hope all of you had a fantastic winter break. I know I certainly did. Now, I know I might have been gone a little longer than expected. Not to worry, though. Everything has been taken care of. So without further hesitation, I know how much you all missed it. Let's get right into this week's World News. Our first story for today, violence continues to plague the Syrian city of Homs, where a week-long government offensive has created a deepening humanitarian crisis. Government forces, in an attempt to crush pockets of violent resistance in Homs, the origin of an 11-month-old uprising, has resulted in intense shelling and bombardment. That in turn has caused serious damage to the city and has made it extremely difficult to get aid to the wounded. The bombardment, which began early Saturday, is the heaviest attack the city has endured since the original uprising in early March, and has resulted in hundreds of casualties, with the most recent number coming in at approximately 120. The wounded have overwhelmed makeshift hospitals and clinics, and the growing concern that the lockdown city could soon run out of supplies. In other news, Russian scientists working in Antarctica have reportedly discovered an underground lake buried beneath the ice. The Russian team drilled down to the surface of Lake Vostok, which is believed to have been covered by ice for more than 1 million years, in a breakthrough officially announced Wednesday by the Institute of the Arctic and Antarctic. Scientists have stated that water samples to be taken from the lake later this year could reveal new forms of life and even bring about new revelations to the evolution of the planet Earth. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Once again, it's great to finally be back, but for now, I'll turn it right back over to Todd and Sarah.
Well, that wraps up our broadcast for tonight. For Sarah Larrabee, I'm Todd Stewart. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you here next week.